I've still got a bit of a hangover from last night's hockey game. Wow. That was fantastic. That was international hockey at its greatest. Now, not necessarily saying that the team play on either side was the best stuff we've ever seen, because these guys have just been essentially thrown together. But the intensity of the game, you could feel it across Canada. Of course, not necessarily in the States, I guess, but you could feel it, the tension across this country, and everybody looking forward to this game, because it's been a long time since Canada has been tested against the best players in the world. But that fucking Scrapville filled first 10 seconds of that hockey game had my whole family on their feet, standing in front of the TV, freaking out. We were all screaming and yelling, and it was an amazing moment in international hockey for Canada and for the US too. For any true hockey fans that were watching that last night, I'm sure they felt the same way. Now, apparently it was a little premeditated by the Tkachuk boys, but I can just, I probably would have done the same thing or thought the same things if they boo our fucking anthem. I'm going to go with whoever's across from me in the opening lineup. And I'm sure that it was talked about, and that kind of stuff just doesn't happen like that. Now, the premeditated team, they didn't win these fights. I thought all of them were very exciting, very equal. There were no massive victory, so to speak, on either side, except the last one. JT Miller looked ridiculous throwing some of those punches, and he was fighting a guy who's just humongous. What are you doing? One of the best defensemen in the NHL, and he's huge, right? JT, he went in there to pick a fight with somebody, and I don't think he liked the dance partner that chose him. But anyway, regardless, it was, and neither of them are fighters too. Like, none of those guys are really. I think Brady is probably the most proficient at it. But, it was exciting to say the least, and I'm still jacked about it, as you can tell, 3 minutes into my fucking Saturday or Sunday, weekend bit. Wow. Anyway, now that I'm finished talking about that, and I have no problem with the Tkachuk boys for doing that, I think they were showing national pride, and I also am extremely proud of the players that just took, okay, I'll take that, let's go. And I'm proud of that. I'm so happily proud of that Canadian team. Yes, they lost. Otherwise, it was a good game. You guys got to see what we get to see all the time in Edmonton here with Connor McDavid. He does that regularly. When he does score goals, they're usually spectacular. Otherwise, he's dishing it off to his teammates. It's pretty cool when he does one of those, and I've seen it do it many times over these years, and we're so lucky. Edmonton has been absolutely blessed and lucky, and I'm glad Montreal got a taste of that last night. You could hear the fans; they enjoyed it, and the same thing happens at Rogers here in Edmonton when he does that. It's fucking awesome. And let's see. Carney, one last thing about Carney before I leave you guys. I am so distressed with this dude. I said in my last beef that he does things and says things that just are like, that is not a great idea. And it seems to me that if you're going to drop the carbon tax, you fucking drop it. Because you have to cut the size of government, and you have to cut some programs. It's too big. It's too expensive. And we can't help other countries out there with our wonderfully lavish lifestyle anymore. We have to gear that back a bit. But you guys don't want to, so you have to fucking find creative taxes. And to me, that's all this is. So what his deal is he wants to tax via tariffs. Sounds like fucking Trump, doesn't he? He wants to tariff countries that don't have a carbon tax. Jesus! Which is most of the countries in the world, the majority, and the big ones. So he wants to tariff the Americans, the Chinese, so on, so on, and so on. All the people that we rely on for our fucking shit to help us make our country great. And where's that going to show up on us? Oh, it's just the companies that are getting through inflation. Oh, but inflation isn't down. Yes, but it's up, what, how many double digits? 20% almost since 5 years ago? Who cares if it's slowed down to 1.8%? That's still an increase. And again, over the last 5 years, where Trudeau has been advised by Mark Carney. It all seems pretty simple.